This is your Monex Metals Market Update with Mike Maroney.
Good afternoon. It's Tuesday, July 11th. My name is Mike Maroney, and I am coming to you today from the Monex Precious Metals Studio. Let's do our week in preview. If you look at what's taken place over the last few days in the precious metals, in silver on Friday we had a very interesting event. It was called a flash crash. What we saw was a crash on the futures market when the market dipped below 1550 and traded all the way down to 1434. What inevitably happened was the futures exchange actually canceled all of the buys and the sells below, or what they did is all of the buys and sells actually were filled right at 1554. This caused a lot of anxiety in the market, and a matter of fact, yesterday we dipped down as low as 1514. But lo and behold, we've popped all the way back up to 1585, and it may be a sign that the market is putting in a bottom. In the gold market, we dipped all the way down to 1207. And what it basically looked like was it was just people selling in front of next month's Federal Reserve rate increases, which is what they've been talking about quite frequently over the last few days, and we're going to have to see what happens. But if you think about the typical signals that we watch in precious metals, normally when the dollar goes down, that's good for precious metals. And if we look at what the dollar's done over the last 6 months, we peaked at around 103.5 in the dollar index, and we've traded as low as 95.5. Normally, this would be bullish for precious metals, but we haven't seen that. Now, in the euro, we were as low as 103, and we've rallied all the way back up to 114. Normally, this is bullish for precious metals, but we haven't seen that either. And what a lot of people think is what the market is doing right now, it is repricing itself. And the dollar may be putting in a bottom or maybe getting ready to sell off a little bit more. But I think what we may be about to see is a rally in metals and a potential rally in the US dollar. And why I think that is because what we're looking at in the commitment of traders. If you look at the commitment of traders, what we've seen recently is the specs were extraordinarily long, and the commercials, the guys that actually mine the metals, they were extraordinarily short. And over the last 2 or 3 months, we've seen that situation reverse, where the specs are almost net short for the first time going all the way back to the end of 2015, and that's when silver bottomed at around $13 and inevitably popped all the way back up to 21. And on top of that, the sentiment index, as far as the traders are concerned, is below 10, which is typically a solid sign for a potential bottom in the silver market. Now, if you think about all the things that are taking place, obviously there's always some sort of issue or another as far as Mr. Trump over there in Washington, D.C. And this week it's about a meeting that took place in Russia with Mr. Kirchner and his son as far as Hillary was concerned. Obviously causing a little bit of anxiety in the market. The stock market sold off big today on that news, but it's popped right back to the upside. But the bottom line is, if you think about what sits out on the horizon, whether it's the situation that exists in Illinois or in California as far as its pension programs are concerned, or the debt ceiling, which is coming in August, or the fact that what we're looking at right now in the overall currency market is a major issue as far as sovereign debt. All of these are reasons to have a position in precious metals. And when you have an opportunity to buy metals, when we're seeing signals in the markets that are typically extraordinarily bullish, it makes sense to look at this market and talk to somebody here at Monex. Obviously, metals haven't performed extraordinarily well over the last 3 to 6 months. But the trick is, if you want to buy low and sell high, the first thing you need to do is buy low. And the metals are trading at very low levels, extraordinarily oversold, and what we're seeing in the commitment of traders tells me that we are very close to a bottom. If you are interested in owning probably the best insurance in the world as far as what's happening in the sovereign debt and in the currency markets, give us a call here at Monex today. Thank you.